Hello everyone, this session is going to be a session for data cleaning in Power BI using the Power Query. So I want you to visit in our website. I've already written a blog for data cleaning in Power BI using the Power Query. So you can get this blog when you come to free resources, and our blogs are here. You're going to get this particular file, okay? So here I've explained the process of data cleaning, different techniques that you should know when it comes to data cleaning in Power BI. And in Power BI, the tool for data cleaning is called the Power Query. So when you load the data into Power BI and you click on transform data, it's going to open the Power Query editor. I have demonstrated different techniques for data cleaning, starting from data type handling, removing duplicates. I've also explained filtering and sorting. I've explained text manipulation. I've explained handling missing values. I've explained splitting, merging columns, data transformation, data profiling, and finally I've given a conclusion on this. So feel free to read this blog step by step. You can see I have attached step-by-step images to show you how to perform data cleaning in the Power Query. So I want to show you practically as well. This is my Power BI window. Allow me to import my data from Excel. This data set I've uploaded for the sake of this video. You can also get it from the website. So I just double click on my data. I'm going to give my data time to load. So while my data is loading, I'm going to select the sheets that I'm interested with. Let me select the clean sheet and also the raw sheet. So when you want to load your data directly to Power BI, you're going to click on load data. But if you want to open the Power Query, you're going to click on transform data. When you click on transform data, it's going to open in a different window, what we call the Power Query. So let me click on transform data. And the Power Query is going to be loaded, okay? So this process, as we wait for our Power Query to load the data, I want us to understand the data. That is the first step. You must understand your data. Understanding your data is getting to know what your data contains, okay? Let us check the columns. We have the order ID, we have the date, we have the product, we have the price, we have quantity, we have the purchase type. So you can check the columns, everything. You can see we have city, that is the last column, okay? So here you can identify, do we have missing values? Do we have mixed data types? Do we have inconsistent label? For example, we can come and check this quantity. What is quantity has been represented as what, okay? And you can check if you have the date, is it in the date format? So those are some of the things you can check. You can check inconsistent labels. Now, for example, if you want to rename your columns, how are you going to do that? Let's say you want to rename the column called the order ID. You just right click on it and say what? And say rename. So instead of the order ID, let's have the ID. Okay, so that is just how to rename columns. Okay, that is the first thing you're supposed to know. Then if you want to use the lower cases, okay, lower cases with underscore instead of the spaces. For example, if you have full name and I want to use, okay, let's say let's use this one here. You have the purchase type, but I don't want it to appear like this. You want it to appear with a purchase and type being separated with an underscore. How are you going to do that? So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to come on rename again, and instead of that I'm just going to say purchase underscore type. Okay, so this one is going to help you in DAX. This one is going to help you in DAX having names in this format. Okay, another thing I want to show you is that to remove unnecessary columns. For example, you can say in this data here, let's say city is a necessary column. How are you going to remove it? You just right click on it and then you say remove. It's going to be removed from your data set. So I can just return it by pressing Ctrl Z, or okay, so I've removed it already. It's not appearing from our data. Okay, then how are you going to handle missing values? Do we have any missing values in our data set? Let us check if you have missing values in our data set. So if you have missing values in your data set, what are you going to do? You're going to come to transform. When you come to transform here, you're going to look for a function called replace values. Okay, so let's say we want to Okay, let's get to understand where we are going to get the replaced values. It's here. So let's say you had a missing values in our column. Let's say we had a missing value in our column. We don't have missing value here. Okay, let's say here we want to replace a fries with a, instead of fries, let's have NA. Okay, so you're going to click on this column and say replace values. When you say replace values, you're going to say value to find is going to be fries, and I want to replace with NA. Then you say okay, your fries are going to be replaced by NA. Have you seen? So the same way, if you have missing values, so let's say, let me introduce missing values. So I just click on it, I came on replace values. So currently I have NA and I want to replace with nothing. So you see, you can see I have missing values. So if you want to return values there, you're going to come and say, what do you want to find missing values? Replace with what? Fries. That is, if you want to replace all missing values with what? With fries. So that is how you can replace missing values. If you have a none, you can set it to 0. So how do you split columns also? For example, if you had the full name and the first name, do we have the name column? We don't have the name column. But if you have something like a full name and you want to separate and have two, first name and the second name, how are you going to do that? First name and the last name. You're going to use the delimiter. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Let's say here, okay, we have the manager. That is good. We have the manager here. Okay, so instead of having the manager, we want to have the first name and the second name separated. So how are you going to do that? You're going to come under you're going to look for a function called split column. Okay, so let's check. Split column is here and say by what? By delimiter. Then what is going to be a delimiter? Let's say our delimiter here is going to be a space, because space is what exists between the two names. So let's leave everything the way it is. Say okay. So you can see Tom. Okay, you can see the names have been separated. So it has been divided into 4, because remember, we had an issue with our what? We had an issue with our how the name were appearing. So you can see the names have been separated. Okay, another thing that you can do in the Power Query, you can say you can change the data type. Okay, so how can you change the data type? For example, let's say if you want to know the data type of a specific column, you just come on the header. You can see ID is 123. So to change, you can click on that and say, let it be text ABC. It's going to change to ABC. Have you seen the change? Then you can see this is date, it is in date format. This is product, it is ABC, that is at the text format. Then this is price. Let us see and change it to what data type. Let's change it to what data type here. We can change it to price, can be something like, okay, let me decide to change it to something like a number. Currently it's a decimal number. Let me maintain the decimal number. So it depends with what you're having in your as your data type. Okay, then another thing that I can teach you, the last thing maybe, when you come to transform here, there's and go to format. Okay, let's get format. You can trim and clean text using the format feature here in the Power Query. So you just come here in transform. Then after you are here in transform, you're going to look for format. Okay, we have very many features that appear here, so you must search keenly and then get where you have format. Then you can use format to do what? You can use format to trim or clean your data. Okay, then you can create conditional columns. That is the last thing. It is very important. How do you do it? You can come here and say you want to add a column. Then add column, you're going to look for a conditional column that meets a certain condition. How do you do this? So let's say we want to find, we have price here. Okay, so you click here, you can see prices, the value of prices, and then you come add column, you say conditional column, and say this conditional column, you must give it a condition. So the column name is going to be price. Let's come and say price. Operator is going to be is greater than what? Let's say a value like 5. 5.00. Then output is going to be high. Okay, so the new column name is going to be price underscore high. So you want to just know all the prices that are high. We want to put them in a separate column and indicate them with a high. So let's say okay. So a new column should be created, and you can see any price that is above 5.00 is going to be indicated with a high. Let's confirm with this one here. The price here was 12.99. If you come this side, you can see it's a high. The rest have been indicated with a null. So these ones that are null, you can decide and say, because they're not greater than 5.5, you can highlight this column and come here in transform. Then you say replace value. Then what do you want to replace? Null. Replace with what? Low. So they all turn to low, okay? So you can see low, high, low, high. So that is all about data cleaning in Power BI using the Power Query. Thanks for watching this video. You can do the practice with the same data set.